Welcome to Brian's Action Figure Reviews, and today I'm back with a brand new pop culture interview. And today's interviewee is someone who I've wanted to get on the show since the very start, since we began doing these pop culture interviews. He's been a long-term friend of mine on the Facebook groups and stuff, and he knows a hell of a lot. He gave me a lot of tips and tricks on how to do reviews and stuff. So if you don't like stuff I do, you can blame Marty. So today's guest is Marty Mccusker. A lot of people will know him from the action figure community. And I'm not going to prattle on too long more. I'm just going to let you enjoy the interview. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thanks very much and enjoy. Welcome, everyone, to Brian's Action Figure Reviews. And today we've got a brand new pop culture interview for you today. And today I've got someone who I've wanted on the show for a long, long time. Mr. Marty Mccusker. How are you, Marty?
I'm good.
So let's start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, fuck's sake. What do I say that people don't know? Well, you obviously know my name.
That's usually helpful.
It is, right? Yeah. Big collector, big comic book reader, into music, collect guitars, action figures, comics. Big passion for horror. Anything trash. The shitter it is, the better. That's not to say that I don't have taste in horror, but I do like them shit. I love 80s trash, monster movies, you name it, man. Love it all.
And I have to say, man, your collection looks absolutely astonishing behind you. Like.
Yeah. There's a lot of it.
So my first proper question is: tell us about your ties to the action figure community as a whole. Because anytime I comment on something or anything, you seem to know like everybody. Like,
I don't know how that. I guess it's just being around a while, I didn't even have Facebook up until around maybe 8 years ago. I deleted it for a long time. I just couldn't be bothered with it. Started it up again because I was getting fed up with having to keep going to shops to get what I wanted. I didn't know what was coming out. I was still buying a lot of those collector magazines. I don't know if you remember them, but quite a few years ago, you would have had the Forbidden Planet magazines. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Mail away stuff, with the fucking money order. That's
a long time ago.
Yeah. That's how I was doing it for a while, and then joined Facebook again. Searched for various groups, and I ended up in AFTC UK. Became admin of that group with Nikki and Richard Freitas, Matt. There's a few other people I don't remember, but yeah, I don't know, just been around, man.
Those were fun times, so to speak, in AFTC UK.
The Wild West.
Yeah.
Those were good times. I guess it's just I'm into a lot of different things, so I collect a ton of different things, and I've been doing it all my life, man. So you tend to learn a few things.
So that was a nice segue, actually. What would be your first real action figure or collector's memory, we'll say?
That would be, that's good. I think it was Marvel Legends, man. Old school Toy Biz Marvel Legends. Obviously, I had all the 90s kind of Toy Biz. It was Toys that made all that old X-Men shit, wasn't it?
The kind of 90s Fox Kids stuff. I think it was.
Yeah. Obviously had all the Star Wars and fucking a million Batman figures. But for me, what started me as a proper collector, I would consider the stuff that I started buying with my own money. And that would be the first wave of Marvel Legends. I was with them for a long time. Yeah. Still to this day.
And like from that, what dragged you into Marvel Legends? Are you obviously you're a big comic reader, yeah?
Oh man, yeah. Sure. My dad was collecting comics when he was the same age as me, So growing up, we always had access to his comic books, and they would be bedtime stories for myself and my sister. Yeah, like the old school Conan and Avengers, all that kind of shit. So So we didn't have a chance. Horror movies, man. He was always big into that stuff. So we me especially I was watching horror movies from when I was 4 years old.
Riz right is what I would call that.
Yeah, that's right. But it was different. It was different back then because you had all these phenomenal, horror and sci-fi movies, which you don't really get now. I'm not just talking about the quality of the movie, but you don't get it. So you had all these movies aimed at adults that spawned children's toys and cartoons. RoboCop, Predator, Aliens, Terminator, all of that shit. Even, most of the horror, because it was like children's versions of Freddy Krueger toys, Like you don't get that now. You're not going to get that now.
No, that is not going to happen. No.
Releasing, Conjuring toys for 4-year-olds. It's just, yeah.
Even 4-year-olds wouldn't appreciate the Conjuring. So.
Yeah. So Marvel was something that I was big into more than anything. And yeah, that's always had a relationship with those characters. So.
And to go a little bit further on that, like, what would be your favorite? Would you have a single favorite character or a bunch of characters, maybe?
In Marvel?
Or in anything, really.
Oh, Brian. Okay, so
you said to keep your mind sharp, so there you go.
Yeah. So there's a theme with me. Anything kind of dark, paranormal, monster type shit, that's already got my attention. So with Marvel especially, you've got Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider. I think everyone knows I'm a big fanatical Ghost Rider fan. Anything like that, Constantine, Swamp Thing in the DC universe, big into that stuff. So in terms of favorites, there is something I like about everyone. There's not really anything I don't like.
Yeah.
Favorites, it would definitely be the more paranormal stuff.
Awesome. So what would be your favorite franchise then?
In terms of
all pop culture, it could be comics, movies, games, comics, whatever.
God. That's tough. That's really difficult.
You can give a few, like there's no right or wrong answer. Like.
No, yeah, of course. I couldn't pick one. I love games. If I had to pick something from games, it would be the Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Sekiro series. I love that stuff. Resident Evil, big fan of that. Metal Gear Solid, game-wise. In terms of comic books, I wouldn't necessarily pick a franchise because I'm reading less Marvel and DC now and more independent stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I read a lot of IDW and shit like that, but if I can find kind of those unknown gems, that's the kind of stuff I'm attracted to at the moment. But Marvel and DC, I couldn't pick between. I like them both equally for different reasons. I would probably lean towards DC more at the moment because I'm a bit drained with Marvel. I'm still reading Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange, but Marvel, I'm just a bit drained with them at the moment.
Marvel kind of goes through ups and downs, doesn't it?
I think that's their business model. I think they'll have a phenomenal run, then they'll have a dip, and when people start to get fed up with it, they'll go, well, actually, here's what's coming next, and it's going to be good, and it is.
It's just like that whole thing. I was just about to go, but now we're coming back.
That's it, yeah. Whereas DC, it's hit or miss. You might end up with Rebirth, or you might not. You might have New 52.
Like you mentioned DC there. What do you think of the new McFarlane line at the moment?
The toy line.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay. I'm good. Right. First and foremost, I love Todd McFarlane. I'm a huge Todd McFarlane fan. Like my dream is to meet that guy. Fuck, I adore him. Spawn's one of my favorite comic books of all time. His recent DC action figure line. Let me see. What can I say about it? I think it's shit.
Fair enough.
And I don't think it's just shit. I think it's dog shit. I think the sculpts are fantastic for the most part. The proportions on a lot of them they're just not right. Like Superman especially his legs are so skinny.
That Superman is awful, yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a great head sculpt. And I think single jointed arms, yeah, like literally everything else he's been doing, especially with the Fortnite run, has had double jointed arms.
Yeah, it's a strange one. Like, I don't know where he was going with that. Like,
it is, and when you compare it to recent releases like the Mortal Kombat series and Spawn, especially, you know, it's pretty close. The only thing I could really say that figure needed was thigh swivel.
Yeah, the scale as well. I don't like the fucking 7-inch scale.
Yeah, I'm very particular about that stuff. You know, if it's not 6-inch, just doesn't fit in with anything.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, I was on the what's the word, on the fence about buying them, so I picked up the comic Batman the other day.
Sorry to hear
that. But I actually didn't mind it. I thought I was expecting it to be horrible, but I thought it was actually okay. Yeah, it doesn't fit in with anything, so that defeats the purpose.
You know, dioramas, any kind of army building that you're doing, it just doesn't fit in with anything. Even other DC characters you may have collected from other lines just doesn't. So it's a shame. I think that I think that with time it could grow into something really, really good. But at the moment, like, there are some standout figures in that line. Nightwing's really nice. I think that's a really nice figure. But again, what lets it down is he's got single fucking elbows.
Yeah.
On Nightwing.
That's what pisses me off about the Mattel WWE line as well. Single jointed elbow. It's no point.
I mean, it's not really my thing, but I did get one for the accessories recently. You know, the Invisible Man custom that I done. That Joe sculpted the head for. The glasses are from Aiden English.
Oh, yeah.
Awful. I've never been a big fan of wrestling, but I literally had to hang my head in silence for a minute, just out of respect for the collectors that thought to myself, you poor bastards.
Yeah, but pretty shit at the moment, right?
Yeah, oh man, they're terrible. But on that subject, the was it Jax? They just got the license for the UFC line.
Jax have the license for AEW and UFC.
Yeah.
I did see that Conor McGregor you posted earlier.
Looks good.
I wanted, yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's the accessories again. I like, you know, the little flag. That looks cool.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, I like McGregor, so I'm definitely going to get it.
The minute I saw it, I was like, that needs a suited body straight away.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I reckon. I think Jax. If we try and compare it to what they did with Fortnite, I think it would be a slightly little bit underscaled. Well, his head could work on a suited Marvel Legends
definitely,
body.
I'd say. So that brings me on to another question. Tell me what you're collecting at the moment.
Oof. How long have you got?
I've got all night.
So I'm collecting various lines. The ones I'm concentrating on the most is Mezco. I'm kind of going off the more comic style stuff that they're doing. I prefer their horror stuff.
That Nosferatu looks amazing.
Oh man, yeah. It's Count Orlok, by the way.
Listen to the expert.
So man, I've been biting my lip across all the groups just to I'm like, you don't refer to the Punisher as, I can't wait for that human.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what you're doing. You know?
When I announced it in my news video the other day, I did say Count Orlok, so there.
So I'm Mezco, anything NECA horror, still love that stuff. Figuarts, Dragon Ball. I see you've got a few back there.
Yep, slowly building.
All of them, man. I mean, they've actually, I don't know if you can see it, but it's been knocked over.
I would have more if the aftermarket wasn't so fucking highly expensive.
Oh, getting into that line now is... Yeah, luckily I've been with it for a long time, so I'm keeping up. But yeah, no, trying to buy those in the aftermarket is...
Yeah, the key, like, with all those kind of lines is getting in on the ground floor, like.
This is it. Yeah, same with Mezco, man. If you like, I mean, they're expensive figures off the bat. We'll be honest, they are. But if you get in there, save up a bit if it's a figure that you especially want, you're not going to regret it later because it's only going to go up in price.
Yeah.
take count all up for instance. I mean, that was $112. I think with tax and shipping and everything, it came up to about $150. Which, when you convert that, it's still not that much considering how expensive they're getting anyway, and it isn't exclusive. But that went on eBay already. Those pre-orders went up on eBay for £400 to £500. So if you're a fan and you were umming and ahhing about getting that, you're fucked now. Yeah. There is somewhere down the line where that hunger for that release is going to get the better of you, and you're going to fork out that money. We've all done it for something.
It's like the Storm Collectibles line. I got that when it came out, the Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They were like 50 quid.
Yeah.
They're like 300, 400 quid now. Like
That's a perfect example, because I passed on them because I don't like the scale. But the scale of those early ones, it's not as bad as what they are now. Like, they're a lot bigger now.
Yeah, they're way bigger now.
Yeah. Well, luckily, Nikki sorted me out for one of them. But it was, I should have got them when they were coming out, but I just didn't. Oh, well,
you win some, you lose some, as they say.
That's it.
So, next question is, if you could make any action figure line for any franchise by any company, what would it be? Your dream figure?
There's a couple. Number one would be Metal Gear Solid.
Yes, I agree.
A lot of people seem to favor Mezco making that. I wouldn't want that personally, because I don't want my Metal Gear Solid figures to look realistic. I want them to be able to move, because you're going to do a lot of action poses with that shit. So for me personally, I'd rather have 1,000 Toys or SHF take that license.
SHF would be class, actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're guaranteed a certain level of quality with SHF.
Yeah, definitely.
When they hit it, they get it.
I find they do a lot better on the anime stuff than the actual, when they're trying to recreate real people.
Yeah, it's a funny one, because then you look at stuff like, what was it? It was a singular release, Jack Sparrow. Yeah. And that's one of the best movie figures they've ever made, for likeness and everything. Like, great figure. But then you look at some of their...
some of the Avengers stuff or the Star Wars stuff doesn't look right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I collect a lot of the Star Wars stuff. I cherry pick it. I'm not a completionist in that sense, but yeah, some of the heads are
very what's the saying? Uncanny valley look about them.
Yeah, that's right. And especially with the MCU, most notably Infinity War, Captain America, absolutely dreadful.
No one has really gotten him right, have they? It's difficult.
No, they haven't. Even, so what's that company? Maniple? They do the third-party heads that very lifelike, kind of almost Hot Toys style. You seen any of those?
No.
I get a lot of those to replace, and that kind of completes the look. You shouldn't have to do that, but...
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mayfex are bringing one out. I mean, it still doesn't look 100% correct, but let's see. Hopefully.
Fair enough. Okay, so that's more... No, go ahead. You have more.
Resident Evil. That would be another one.
That's my dream one.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Mezco doing that. Because, I mean, it's a bit more grounded in terms of their movements and the way they approach the action in those games, rather than Metal Gear Solid, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I can imagine a Tyrant would be quite expensive from Mezco.
Yeah. I'd still buy it.
Yeah. Because they'd do it right as well. They'd do it justice, I think.
They would, yeah. But again, any company that wants to give me these figures, I'm happy.
Excellent. So, just for the last bit of the interview, all you have to do is, if you want, you can promote yourself, pour yourself out to everyone.
Well, I mean, I'm not really heavy on social media platforms other than Instagram. I have a Twitter account, but I don't really use it. But on Instagram, it's just at Marty Mccusker, and that's where you can see the majority of the photos that I upload. Other than that, my personal page, there is a fan page as well. Again, I neglect that more than I should. Took a lot of time building it, and there's not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, because that's one thing we didn't even touch on was your ACBA stuff. It's fucking excellent, like, as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, again, back in the AFTC UK days, Simon Hill, I seen him taking his shots. I seen Sam, and there was a couple of the guys. Ronnie Tosh. I mean, you remember he used to do those phenomenal Walking Dead shots and shit like that. And I used to just think, what? You can still play with your toys like this. I mean, I knew about toy photography, but to me, it was always, it was something that was only used for high class adverts and magazines. I didn't think there were people in the community doing it. I didn't even know about the community at this point. So when I seen these guys doing it, I was like, I have to get into this. I don't have to, lock myself in my room. At that time, I was probably about 28. No, don't come in. I'm waiting. So they didn't walk in, see me playing with my toys. But now it doesn't matter because it's photography, it's art.
Yeah, but everyone doesn't care anymore about that stuff now.
I think even back then it's a lot more accepted now because of the MCU and things like that. Like geek culture has really been popularized.
Yeah, weird is cool now, which is weird.
It is, yeah. It's nice to know that we were the cool form of uncool before cool became a thing. But
there you go. Yeah. Put that in the back of a t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, so Simon gave me a lot of pointers and really got me into it. Joined ACBA. I don't know if you're in there or not. You are in there, right?
Yeah.
Especially back then, it was an assault course.
Yeah.
You either good or you quit. So
that's the best way it should be. There's no point someone backslapping you for shit, like.
Yeah, I like that approach.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
So you yourself gave me pointers as well back in the day as well on even starting up the whole YouTube fucking review thing.
I remember looking at you now.
Yeah, it's still in the same spot. I'm joking.
No, you're doing good, man. You're doing good. I'm enjoying it. I don't get to watch as often as I'd like to, but I am enjoying the ones that I do get to see.
I feel grateful because I told Sam that you were coming on to do an interview, and he was like, "What? You got him to do a video call?"
Yeah, I'm notorious for not wanting to do stuff. It's not like it's nothing like that. It's just I'm fucking tired, man. Like I have a million things to do during the day, and I like to keep myself busy with my hobbies.
Yeah.
So when I'm not writing music, I'm spending time with my family. If I'm not spending time with my family, I'm taking photos or I'm at work.
Yeah. So there isn't enough hours in the day, like.
Yeah, this is it. So I mean, the last thing that I want to do sometimes is, and I hate video chats. Fucking hate them.
I used to be the same.
Yeah. Oh man, I hate them. Fucking hate them. Like I have a wall of mirrors that I stare into naked every morning. I don't need to see myself in this video. Yeah.
And on that one, we'll leave it there then. So thanks very much for coming on, Marty.
No, thank you for inviting me on, man. It's been a pleasure.
Of course, and maybe we'll have you on again in the future if we drag you away from those Hall of Mirrors.
Yeah. Next time they'll be behind me and I'll be wearing nothing. So.
Oh, excellent. That'll be for the X-rated show. So, so we'll see you so later, right, Marty? See you. Bye.
Bye.